The Exorcist. The seminal 1973 cinematic masterpiece. Nominated for the Best Picture Academy Award, it broke new ground, not just for the horror genre, but for film as a medium, and has frequently been voted as the scariest film of all time. But we aren't here to talk about that. Welcome to Exorcist II, the Heretic. We find ourselves in a jazzy Star Wars cantina. No, a Mexican shrine with Richard Burton, playing a priest called Father Lamont. This woman here, grasping that we are only at the very beginning of this 2-hour shit show, takes the only sensible action and sets herself on fire. Richard's conspicuous lack of action here won't be a one-off occurrence. If there's a character in this film who could be doing something to help, you can bet they'll instead stand off to the side, sort of flailing their arms about or opening their eyes a bit wider than usual to express their concern. Meanwhile, dancing. In New York City, Regan, the little girl possessed in the first film, is living in a 1970s nightmare beehive. This psychiatric institute seems to have been specifically designed to prevent mentally ill children from ever getting better. All the walls are glass, it's dark, and its weird hexagonal maze layout allows for zero privacy. Despite everyone being able to see everything at all times, the staff seem not to notice things like patients being violently battered by their peers. See what I mean about characters not doing anything to help other people in this film? Shall I say something? Nah, it's probably fine. Father Lamont is charged by the Catholic Church to go to New York and to talk to Regan, and to uncover more information about what happened during her apparent possession. The priest who led her exorcism, Father Merrin, dead, is potentially about to be charged with heresy. The church really showing their gratitude there. It's up to Father Lamont to prove that Father Merrin was on the level. The Institute does have one thing in its favour, in that the doctors there seem to have harnessed the power of magic to aid in their psychological counselling. Dr. Jean Tuskin, played by Louise Fletcher, uses a machine with Regan, which allows them both to see Regan's childhood memories. Science! Dr. Jean is possibly the most boring woman to have ever been a lead character in a motion picture. Christ, woman, we're dealing with Satan. Dr. Jean insists that Regan must uncover the horrific memories of what happened to her during her possession as a child, even though Regan seems remarkably well adjusted, and I'm not really sure what good that'll do, like dragging all that back up, but what do I know, I'm not a doctor. Dr. Jean does not believe the possession was real, but rather a case of hysteria. With Father Lamont in attendance, Regan and Dr. Jean use the janky-looking machine together.
Regan, I want you to relax and make your tone go deeper. Listen to your tone. Deeper.
What? Tone? What? I don't... Oh, okay.
Deeper, Regan.
What the fuck is going on? Everything quickly goes tits up and Father Lamont steps in because apparently, having been aware of the machine's existence for a whole 2 minutes, has made him an expert in it. He gets Dr. Jean up to the right tone and tells her that when she's out of her trance, she'll remember nothing. You know, rather than just having her remember that demons are real so that she'll be on his side and help him, because that'd just be too easy. After the therapy session, Regan is so taken with the priest that she draws him a portrait. Is that me? Oh, thank you. Regan has chosen to draw a beautiful red maple leaf design behind Father Lamont's head. No doubt a nod to his Canadian heritage.
Flames.
Oh no, wait. That's supposed to be fire.
Doctor, the flames. They're getting bigger. We've got to put the fire out.
Everything that happens in this exchange is just baffling, and I have no idea how Father Lamont knows there's a fire or where the fire will be. Dr. Jean is used to dealing with mad people all day and so can't even pretend to be excited about it. I don't know what it would take to get Dr. Jean excited about anything, to be honest. Luckily, Father Lamont is well trained in the art of putting out fires with a crutch. Classic Catholic technique. Doctor, do you want to Do you want to put the fire out? Put the fire out, please. The children will burn. Uncanny. Absolutely uncanny.
She draws well. She draws well. She draws well.
Reagan kindly fondles a bird. This is the second time she's done that. It gets you to thinking, is this foreshadowing? Is that a Chekhov's bird? Is that bird going to end up with its head ripped off like every dog shown in a horror film ever? What's with all the pigeons? Is Reagan coded as a pigeon? All my film school stuff is coming back to me. Let's keep our eye on that and come back to it later. Father Lamont goes with Reagan's guardian because her mum is too busy for all this shit, to Reagan's old house. The absence of Reagan's mother, the central character of the first film and of the novel, is really felt. Good on you, Ellen Burstyn, for refusing to come back and take part in this train wreck. We salute you. God, Grandma's wrapping everything in plastic again. Back at the Institute, one man is mulling over a father-son murder-suicide pact.
Wait then, Frank, okay?
Is there any point going on?
And then we get more from the machine. It's at this point abundantly clear that nothing scary is going to happen. Nothing scary has happened up until this point. Why are we even here? Father Lamont goes to Africa to find out more about the demon, Pazuzu, that is, was, or has been possessing Reagan. It's very hard to care about any of this soundstage nonsense. To make an achingly long story short, there was a boy in Africa, just somewhere on the continent, not sure where, and he was either really good or possibly really bad, and then locusts came. I can't and won't explain the plot any better than that. Father Lamont is getting on well with his new friends, until he isn't and they start stoning him to death. Reagan, thousands of miles away and putting on a psychiatric institute review, feels this for some reason and has an embarrassing onstage freakout. At this point, I check the time and there's still 40 minutes to go. Titties. yeah, this guy knows what's going on. Here's James Earl Jones talking about the locusts. He's a locust scientist. It's quite soothing to listen to Darth Vader talk about locusts.
Look at this young female. She has been evolved to resist the brushing of the wings. At least, that is our hope. We like to call her the good locust. Her children will be our agents.
It's at this point I ask myself an important question. What does anyone in this film want? The original movie centres on this single working mother and how she balances her work and home life and the relationships she has with the people around her. The characters are memorable and each one has a motive and a desire. Father Karras, the young, disillusioned priest, who could have easily been making big bucks as a psychiatrist but is instead making a pittance and keeping his mother in a shambolic, non-hexagonal, hospital. Lieutenant Columbo.
One more thing.
Sorry, I mean Kinderman, the detective. Strong characters with backstories and weight to them. People we care about. There's a sense of dread and of importance. Now, The Exorcist II. Who do we have here and why does it matter? Father Big Eyes and Robot. Christ, help him. The film begins to crawl to its climax with Father Lamont, Reagan, Reagan's guardian, Sharon, and Dr. Jean all heading back to Reagan's old house. Dr. Jean and Sharon take a taxi. The taxi is then possessed and the poor driver, who they've been berating the whole journey, gets crushed into a small cube.
Driver is dead.
He sure is. Sharon, either also possessed or just having had enough of this whole debacle, ignites a fire with the car's spilled gas and is engulfed in flame. Dr. Jean reacts with the level of concern we've all come to expect from this licensed psychotherapist. Oh no, are you okay, Sharon? Okay, I'm gonna go, bye. Reagan, meanwhile, is inside the house and opens the door to her former bedroom to see a demonic version of herself on the bed. Good acting, 10 out of 10. Father Lamont gets battered by a million locusts, Amityville style. That reminds me, do you know what never really went anywhere? All that pigeon stuff. Research time. Do birds eat locusts? What? A yes or no would be... Oh, okay, I'm going to say yeah, they do. So am I mad for focusing on all these pigeon cameos? When we first saw that pigeon, that was in the hospital, and Regan was cradling it while she was doing a psychotherapy session. Now, is it possible that the filmmaker is telling me that the hospital, and therefore Regan's therapy, stay with me here, is providing her with the quote-unquote bird she needs in order to quote-unquote eat, aka destroy, the locusts, aka the demon? But also consider, Regan is always in these white satin numbers, all white and silky, a bit like those pigeons. Was she the bird all along? Is this a Wizard of Oz, you always had the power Dorothy situation? I am not satisfied with this. Not satisfied at all. I demand answers.
Yes, I'm ready now.
Anyway, her and the demon and Father Lamont battle it out. At one point, Lamont gets a bit overcome and starts humping Demon Regan. It's going to be awkward for a while between these two when it's all over. The house starts to break apart from all the evil flying around. And Regan discovers that to rid herself of her demonic influence, all she has to do is rave. Nice polyester culottes. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. The end, yeah. So are you going to let her mum know she's run off with this priest, or...? So I've got to ask myself, do I want to watch The Exorcist III now? It's supposed to be way better. There's that scary scene with the hedge clippers and... But no. Not today, my friend. Not today. Thank you very much for watching my video on The Exorcist II. Did you enjoy the film, or maybe you'll just never watch it now because you've watched this? Let me know. Bye.